When you own or manage a WordPress site, it's your job to make sure that your installation of WordPress and your plugins and themes are always up to date. This is important for several reasons. WordPress is in constant development and new features are added all the time, and keeping your installation up to date means that you'll always be on the cutting edge of what's happening with WordPress. There's also legitimate concerns if you don't update. WordPress is ubiquitous on the web, and hackers who want to get into sites are likely going to target WordPress sites first simply because there are so many of them. And whenever a security hole is found in WordPress, WordPress immediately releases a new version with updates to plug that hole. So if you don't keep up to date with your versions, chances are you're leaving yourself open to get attacked by people with nefarious intent online. That's not to say you are going to be attacked. It just means when a new version of WordPress comes out, it's a good idea to update right away. And on the upside, you get all the cool new features that come with WordPress. Now, I'm sure you're wondering why my admin panel all of a sudden looks very different. If you haven't seen it before, this is the previous version of the WordPress admin panel, the one that was shipped with version 3.7.1, as you can see down here. I installed this previous version to show you what happens when you're instructed to update your WordPress installation. As you can see, because I'm running an older version, when I log in, I immediately get a message saying WordPress 3.8 is available. Please update now at the top here. You'll also notice I have an update sign up in the top left-hand corner of my toolbar, and in my dashboard, I have a button that says Update to 3.8. I can also go to the Update section, which is right under the Dashboard button in my main menu. Here I get a list of all the available updates for everything that's installed on my site. In this case, the only available update is WordPress itself. An updated version of WordPress is available. But if you have a plugin or a theme that needs to be updated, you'll also see these listed here, and you can make all those updates from this one location. So now that WordPress 3.8 is out, it's important that I update my site. I can do so automatically from within here simply by clicking on Update Now, or I can do a manual update if I want to by downloading WordPress 3.8 and then doing a manual update using FTP on my server. But in almost every case, the auto update will work fine. Before you do an update, it might be a good idea to do a backup of your database and file. When people see this warning, they often go, wait, I shouldn't update because I might lose my content. I can tell you from experience that I have never experienced ever losing content updating WordPress automatically. That said, it's always a good idea to make backups of your database and files, regardless of whether or not you are doing updates. In fact, I urge you to have a backup system in place that automatically backs up both your database and your files. And if you do have that, then you don't have anything to worry about. Assuming you've done your backups and everything is fine, you can update WordPress. I'm simply going to click on Update Now. And just like when you install a plugin or theme, WordPress will now download a new version of WordPress, unpack the update, and then go through the entire update process for you. Depending on the version of WordPress you are currently running and the new version, you may now get a warning saying that you need to update your database. If you do get that warning, simply click Yes. WordPress will update the database. It's usually just a matter of changing some numbers in a specific table, and then you'll get into WordPress admin. And here you see that very familiar new admin panel and the welcome page. In some cases, you may experience that the update didn't work. You may see that the update stalls halfway through or something else doesn't work. If that happens, you don't really have to worry because the actual update happens at the very end of the process. So if the process stalls somewhere in the middle, nothing will happen. You just won't get the new version of WordPress. If that's the case, then you should go and deactivate all of your plugins and then try running the update again. Because sometimes the reason why the update fails is because your plugins are taking up too much RAM on your server, so WordPress doesn't have enough RAM to actually run the full update. If all else fails, you can just download WordPress and do a manual update by simply grabbing all the files from the new WordPress folder and dumping them into the FTP folder. Just remember to not overwrite the WP content folder. Everything else can just be overwritten, and then you get the new version. To make things a little bit easier for you, a new feature was introduced with WordPress 3.7 called Point Release Auto Updates. So what happens now is whenever a point release is released for WordPress, meaning WordPress 3.8.1 or point 2 or point 3, WordPress will actually automatically update itself. So you don't have to worry about keeping up to date with these security releases that come out. So all the point releases are security releases, and you don't have to worry about them anymore. In fact, this happens automatically whenever that release comes out, and when it does, you'll get an email from your site saying, first, hey, I'm upgrading to the new version, and second, upgrade complete, you're now running the latest version of WordPress. So all you have to worry about is keeping your site up to date when major new releases come out. So when WordPress 3.9 comes out, you need to make the update. When WordPress 4.0 comes out, you need to make the update. But for 3.8, 0.1, 0.2, and so on, WordPress will do the work for you. However, you still have to do manual updates for your plugins and your themes. So whenever you see an alert up here in the corner with that big recycle sign on it, go to Dashboard and Updates and make sure that everything on this list gets updated.